What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Brad and Zach Show. This is obviously looks a little bit different. Like we said before in the last video, me and Brad live pretty far apart, and we're off for summer break from college. So we're not living together currently, but we will be back with those videos together in the fall. So this video today that we're recording is going to be a little bit separate. We're going to record separately of our thoughts on the Santa Fe High School shooting, and then put the video together for you guys and get it out as soon as possible. So some of the details of the shooting. Friday, May 18th at Santa Fe High School near Houston, Texas, a junior by the name of Dimitrios Pagortzis entered the high school and opened fire on students and faculty using a handgun and a shotgun that he took from his home. 10 people reportedly died, and the suspect surrendered to police and is now in custody. The event lasted approximately 30 minutes in total. So a few thoughts that I had on that, and I'll keep this brief, but a few thoughts that I had about this shooting. Number one, I obviously am not going to say that I think guns are the problem, because guns are obviously not. The security at the school was obviously as ideal as they expected it to be. They wanted it to be good. But in my opinion, I think that 2 security officers at the school wasn't enough. And I think the school district realizes that now. The only person that really could have responded in time was the faculty in the art classroom. And like I said before, I think Santa Fe School District realizes this, and this is something that they really want to implement, as a lot of other school districts in Texas are doing. But unfortunately, that policy wasn't in place yet, and so 10 people unfortunately did die, and that is incredibly tragic. Brad and I made a video on this before about some details after the Parkland shooting, about different, mass shooting statistics or things like that, that a lot of the statistics we got off, the Chicago Tribune website, or the Center for Health and Safety evaluations. A popular one was the website for the Crime Prevention and Research Center. And some of those statistics that we got, just as a reminder, were that on average, statistically, when armed citizens are present, a public shooting, only approximately 2.3 deaths occur when armed citizens are present and are able to take down the gunman, as opposed to in gun-free zones where you have to wait for the police to get there, approximately 14.3 deaths occur, which is a difference of 12 people dying if people are present with guns as opposed to having to wait for the police. And while these 2 security officers were present at the school at the time, in this specific situation, I think that statistic definitely applies. This is a difference of 12 people on average, and 10 people died in this shooting because the armed security guards were not able to get there in time. They had to wait for the police to get there in that art classroom. And I think it's incredibly tragic, because if the art teacher would have been permitted to be armed, then they could have stopped the shooting, or at least taken the gunman down with them and prevented so much more harm. Just as a basic policy for schools, trench coats should not be allowed in schools. They're too concealing, and especially in the middle of May, nobody should be wearing a trench coat to school, especially in southeast Texas. There was no possible way for 2 guards to suspect one kid wearing a trench coat in a large high school. There was no way for them to suspect him and be in his location when he opened fire.
So what do I think should be done? First we need to stop with the gun control. It obviously doesn't work, and this event has proved that. He was 17, he can't own a gun. He has to be 18 to own the shotgun, 21 to own the pistol that he used, which weren't even his, they were his father's. So he stole the guns, which was another crime. The shotgun was sawn off, which was also another crime. And he brought the guns into a gun-free zone, which is also another crime. Not to mention the fact that he murdered the people with the gun, which is yet another crime. So obviously the gun control doesn't work here. And like we've said in past videos, guns are used more times to save lives than they are to take them. And guns actually make you more safe, not less safe. And again, we've talked about that. So what should we do? First, I think we should strengthen the punishments for murderers. Bring the death penalty back into play. There was a study done in 2001 that showed for every murderer executed, an average of 18 lives were saved. This shows that the death penalty actually does deter murders. Some people may say you can't execute him, he was only 17. I don't think that should matter. I think we should still go ahead and execute him. He killed 10 people. If he's going to show that much disregard for lives, his life should be shown the same amount of disregard, and he's still responsible for his actions. In regards to the school, schools should start putting up fences. They should start limiting entries and exits, and they should use metal detectors at every door, with armed guards checking someone. You know, if they're wearing a trench coat or excessively baggy clothing, like this student was, this just ensures that guns won't be brought into the school by making sure you know exactly what's walking in and out of your doors. We should also bring God back into society. These problems didn't happen near as often when we as a nation, for the most part, recognized and worshiped God. We should also encourage good parenting. Parents should be actively involved in their children's lives. That way, when red flags come up, like the ones that appeared with this shooting and past shooters, the parents can stop them, or at least do something to stop them. Or better yet, if the parents are actively involved, the red flags won't come up. The children will know that somebody cares about them. So be involved. Parents, be involved. Spend family time together. Go to church. Go to the park. Play a board game. Watch a movie. Something. Just be involved in your child's lives. But here's what we shouldn't do. We shouldn't start going for more gun control. That doesn't work, and we've talked about that. I've mentioned it. Zach mentioned it before me. We've made other videos about that, and we'll link that down in the description. But so many laws were already broken in this. One more law wouldn't have helped. Criminals will always find ways around laws. And we need to stop blaming others. We need to hold the individual accountable for their actions and punish them accordingly. The other day I was listening to the radio and I heard a conservative speaker talk about how the parents should be charged for leaving the gun out. I think that's wrong. You shouldn't be held responsible for your items being stolen and then being used illegally. What if someone broke in and stole the gun? Are you still going to hold the person responsible? What if you had an adult son that broke in? The only difference here is that the son doesn't live with you. Are you still going to hold that person responsible for not having their gun put away? Yes, it's responsible gun owning to store your guns properly, but you can't seriously sit there and tell me that you expect someone to be held responsible when someone illegally takes your things and then goes and commits a crime with them. Sometimes you want to keep a gun out for home defense so you can access it easily. But again, you can't sit there and honestly tell someone that they need to be held responsible when their things are taken illegally and then used to commit a crime. This student was 17 years old. He's old enough to know what he's doing and therefore old enough to face the consequences for his actions. You can't hold the parents responsible for that.
Hey YouTube, thanks so much for watching. We're super glad that you guys are watching these videos. Remember to check out our Twitter page at Brad and Zach Show and email us your comments and questions or anything really that you want to email us at wannatalkpolitics@gmail.com. Remember to hit the thumbs up and like this video, share this video with someone, and always remember to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.